My dad was prior Navy, naval officer, and they're like, "You're never gonna make the Marine Corps." Just because they said that, I was like, "I'm gonna go be a Marine." So I did. So June 21st, 2004, I was on a bus. First a plane, then a bus to Paris Island, and I started my journey. 13 weeks of heck. That was after 9/11.
Yeah.
I wanted to join at 9/11, but my mom and dad, they wouldn't let me. And so I waited a couple years, and they're like, they can't say anything now. And so I did. I joined. I went into the recruiter's office. I was like, here's my birth certificate, here's my college degree, here's my high school degree. I want to be infantry. They're like, hey, we need you to go take a test. I'm like, okay. So I took the ASVAB. Took it in 15 minutes. I didn't care what score I got. All I wanted was infantry. And I got a 54, and they're like, okay, you're going to Paris Island. I had just seen movies. I like Full Metal Jacket, Sands of Iwo Jima. It was a birth by fire. I got shot at. I got blown up. I was not expecting that at all. I remember there was one thing that happened to me. First time I ever got fired on, February 14th, Valentine's Day. I will never forget it. We're getting mortar fire from the front, AK-47 fire from this side. And I stopped dead in my tracks. And I'm like, I have the M249 saw. I was a machine gunner, but on patrols, they made me the saw gunner. So I'm in the middle of the road, and all this stuff is happening, and I freeze. Like deer in headlights, like, oh my God, what do I do? And I don't know, it was scary. I was scared a lot. I prayed that I wouldn't die. There was a lot of times I was going to die that deployment. We were there for 6 months, and at least 3 or 4 times I should have been killed, and I didn't. But thanks to my Marines, it was Ramadi, Battle of Ramadi, 2006. 2nd Platoon, 2nd Squad, and we were doing a routine patrol at night to the Ramadi bank, right up the road from where our fob was. And we went up, we cleared it, 4 floors. We came back down. There was this open area, this lobby, and one of the side walls had been blown out. So it was open to us. So we all came down. We were all congregating. And so the enemy, they were way off. They could see us. And so they fired an RPG. And me, Switzer, Golian, and Ward, we all got hit with shrapnel. I got it in my foot. Switzer got it in his butt. And Golian, he got it peppered up his legs, and Ward got it the worst. So I had a piece of metal like this big in my foot, which at the time they x-rayed it, and they could see it. And they're like, well, we're not going to take it out, but it's going to fall out on its own. So I'm like, okay. And it's true. There was a little piece that came out, but there was still a hunk of metal in my foot for 2 years. I remember when I got out in 2008, I kept on running. I was trying to keep in shape, and my left foot, it was killing me. So I had to go up to the VA in Charleston, and they put me under. They took out the rest of the metal, and I actually had it in a plastic jar for a while. I was a big drunk. I was a big drunk for 18 years. I lost a lot of friends. I lost a family just because of my drinking. I got sober. July 31st of this year was my 5-year sobriety date. So, and I just remembered what I had learned in the Marine Corps. And I didn't apply it to myself when I first got out because I didn't have a purpose. I didn't know what I was doing. It wasn't until probably about 5 years ago when I first got sober, I started rethinking and going back and making amends and doing all the stuff we have to do in AA and going to Save a Warrior and joining different groups. I'm committed to helping people, and that's I had the honor of helping people. I commit to helping people. I have the courage to help the homeless. I start my 3rd season with Coldest Nights in Murfreesboro. When it's 32 degrees or below, I will feed the homeless, and then I will do fire watch for the homeless, for the men. First Baptist Church, the women go to St. Paul's. I'm in there 3 times a week, fire watch, staying up all night, making sure that the homeless of Murfreesboro, Tennessee are well taken care of.